Stand for the pledge and a moment of silence for those who protect us around the world. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Thank you. I want to welcome everybody to the January 18th Town Board meeting. To the far left is Councilman Hunter. Next to him is Councilman Arone. To my right is the Deputy Supervisor, Councilwoman Hernandez, and I'm Frank J. Palermo, your supervisor. We're going to start with, has everybody seen the agenda? And if you want, you have an opportunity now to speak up on anything that is on our agenda. Anybody? Okay.
Robin Kraus, Highland Mills. I have quite a few questions about agenda item 3C. Let me know when you're ready.
On new business?
Under new business, correct.
Okay, go ahead.
First question, it mentions a program coordinator position. Program coordinator for what? I'm just going to ask my questions instead of
No,
interrupting.
that's okay. It's okay.
here
You
and
want to
there.
answer them, you want us to answer them as you say them, or just go through them?
Whatever you would
This
prefer.
is new to all of us, so,
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's fine, but if there's a time constraint, I'd rather
no,
just
there's no time
ask,
constraint.
well, then you can answer them if you'd like.
Okay. He would be this is the civil service position that they came up with for Joey. He's going to be our program coordinator for the parks. And he will be in charge of not only his regular duties as running the parks, but coming up with programs for our town parks.
Okay. How is this different from what he's already doing?
It's not much.
Okay.
He just
so-
he has a civil service title, is really what this is all about.
Okay.
Up until
So
now.
so he hasn't, I'm sorry to interrupt, so he hasn't before, but now he's on the civil
Correct.
service step and
Correct.
grade and what have you.
Yes,
Okay, so now
correct.
that's
And now
that's
he-
the difference, okay.
Yes, and now, I just want to take off my sound. Give me
No,
one second.
that's fine.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
And now, being on the civil service, basically list, if a test comes up, he has to take it and he has to pass it.
Okay.
So it's more like a provisional, appointment.
Okay. I am familiar with civil service. Thank you, though, for that.
No problem.
But, okay, and it may be tied into civil service, but how are the hours determined?
It's actually, if you work up to 29 hours a week,
Mm-hmm.
it comes to 1,508.
Okay.
But as you know, at this time of year, we don't expect them to be putting in 29 hours a week.
Okay.
And we expect them to be putting in probably more than the 29
Mm-hmm.
come the spring and summer. But the way civil service works is, as long as he doesn't go over that 1508 threshold,
Mm-hmm.
he's fine.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so that answers my next question, actually. And so approximately how many hours per week would he be doing? And I would guess that it would be changed with the, with the summer,
Correct.
spring season?
Correct. Right now, I think, Joey, what are you putting in
20
about
hours a
now?
week, or-
Yeah, right
Okay.
now, he'll be doing 10 or 15.
Okay,
And then as the year goes on and the season comes in, he'll be putting in more hours.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Plus, I think if I'm not mistaken, Joey, last year, you almost ran out of hours.
I did run out of hours.
Yeah, so our feeling is that raising him up to the 29 gives him a maximum of 1508. He doesn't have to do the 1508,
Mm-hmm.
but it allows him to go up to 1508 this year.
okay. That answers several of my questions. My final one on this agenda item, though, is where and when was the position posted? In civil service, you should have it posted.
I don't recall it, this was done beforehand, and then we did the interviews. This position was made before,
Before what?
before I took over.
Okay,
And I know that Joey was the only person that came before us for this.
okay. Okay, no, that's fine, thank you.
No problem, just answering you as best I can.
Yeah, no, that's, you did cover a lot, thank you, I appreciate it. I also have, well, actually, more of a request about agenda item number 1.
Okay,
I'm asking the board to revisit the public input policy. I think that it's really a disservice, not only to the public, especially to the public, but also to the board. Having conversation about only agenda items for that particular meeting. There are issues that come up on a daily basis, some more important than others, but it would still afford the public to speak on any and all issues that they are particularly concerned about. And again, in turn, I believe would help educate the board of things that they may not be aware of, or, just another avenue of conversation with that given individual. So I ask for that reason that the board rethink and revisit the policy that you established, Frank, and also to, again, for the purpose of, many times there are, not on a monthly basis, but extra items on occasion. Again, different things come up daily. Well, how can the public address you or have any concerns or input if it's not on the agenda because we don't know about the extra items until we're actually at the meeting?
well,
So-
now that you bring up the extra items, we actually do have one tonight.
Okay, well, there
Which
you
has
go.
to do with the Gatsby.
Okay.
But if you want to have any questions on that,
Okay.
that's simply a format that our, what would you call, our assets are reviewed for insurance purposes. And so we will be voting on a company to do that, which is the company we've been using for many years.
Right, right.
But no, I understand what you're trying to say. My point is also, if I can give you my viewpoint on it.
Of course.
We're here to do the business of the town. And if people want to get up for the purposes of thanking or doing or anything like that, they can always write a letter to the editor. They can call me at my office at any time. I have not told anyone that they can't come see me. If they have a real concern, I mean, if it's a concern that is immediate, I don't think you'd want to wait 2 weeks for the next meeting. You can always call me and we can always discuss it. You can even come in and speak to me and say, Frank, I'm very concerned about this particular thing. Do you mind if I speak at a board meeting? I'll put you on the agenda. But to just have free-flowing speak at the end of a meeting, just for the purposes of getting up there most times to be on TV and to give the thanks. It's like the chief of police told me the other day, it's nice when someone maybe thanks me, but I prefer the thanks that they give me every week when I get my paycheck. So the reality of it is we're here to do the business of the town. People want to speak before the meeting, like you wanted to know certain things on how we're going to vote, rather than getting those answers afterwards and that we've already done the vote. I think is more important, and that's how I feel about it. It's just my feelings that under this administration, I've never told people they can't talk, but what I'm saying to you is that if you want to come speak with me, you can come speak with me. I can't believe that what people are getting up here, it's a matter of urgency. And in fact, I'll even state to the people out there in TV land or YouTube land that if you have an event coming up, you can email me at supervisor@woodburynewyork.us, or you can call my office, give me a date, please, and I will make sure I announce it at a town board meeting. It's not a problem.
Robin, I just have a question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
is your suggestion to go back to the old format, or is your suggestion, I'm going to kind of give you multiple choices here.
Sure.
You're fine with it, public comment being done up front, but not limited to agenda items, or keep it to agenda items and then another open comment at the end? Just want to get a better understanding, if you don't mind.
All of that. Frank, I appreciate your opinion, but you're one member of the board. There are 4 other members, and I would like you all to revisit the policy, again, for the reasons I stated, but also I have no problem with the beginning public comment, but leave room at the end if, some things come up, like, again, these extra items that aren't on the agenda to begin with. And to your point, Frank, I mean, for people to come and see you and whatever, a great deal of us still work, can't get here when town hall is only open till 4 o'clock. Okay, so that affords it another opportunity, again, for the public who you serve, all of you. You are elected to serve the public, and you're doing a great disservice, in my opinion, by limiting public input. Public input is, yes, for events, of course. We're a community. I'd like to remain a community. I'd like to strengthen this community, okay? But, again, a disservice to the public by limiting our conversation. My feeling. But no, I have no problem with the beginning public input, as long as it's available at the end
Okay, I was just trying to get
of a meeting. No,
understanding.
and I appreciate that.
Okay,
I
thanks.
appreciate the thought. So, again, I would ask you to revisit it. Thank you.
You're
So,
welcome. Thank you, Robin. for
while
your
we're talking
comments,
about that, I'd just like to say I'd like to see it. I encourage my board members to think about bringing it back at the end, too. We need to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly, and people want to vent at the mic, that's their right. We're paid to listen to it and to take it. And, I would encourage to, if you want to have both sessions, that's fine with me. But people need to come up, and they want to address the board as in its entirety, because this is the only chance they get. That's fine. I think we should bring it back.
I'm going to make this comment, and basically for the last time. The town board, as well as the village board, are the only 2 boards in this town that allow people to talk at their meetings. The zoning board of appeals gives no input from anybody unless they're having a public hearing, and it's the same with the planning board, right? So when I have people coming up here, and I don't think Robin was attacking me at all. I appreciate what she had to say, and I will consider it. But when I read about all these things about how I'm limiting everybody to talk, when there are many boards in this town that don't allow people to talk or give them the opportunity to speak on the subjects that are going on at their meetings, I find it amazing that I am allowing people to talk, and yet they're still upset. It's like you can't please everybody, and I understand that in life. As I said, we're here to talk about the business of the town, and the agenda deals with what we have to do as a business. And as I've said, if somebody's got something to say, there are other formats. There is the letter to the editor. There's the ever-popular Families of Woodbury. You can send an email. Yes, people do work. I know. I worked for 40 years in the city, and it was always difficult for me to come to day events in this town. But you know what? If I really got something to say and you really feel passionate about it, you can send me an email, and we can have a conversation. There's something that Alexander Graham Bell invented. It's called a phone. And if somebody sends me an email, I'll gladly call them back, and we can discuss it. Okay. Is there anybody else that wishes to address an agenda item?
Sandy Capriglione, Central Valley. As far as the budget modifications, in order to be able to follow things like that, when will the 2018 adopted budget be online?
I spoke with Actually, I spoke with Eileen today, and we usually put out the budget versus actual. But she said that in December, they don't put it out because she's still working on a lot of the back things. So probably next month, you'll have the budget versus actual.
Okay. I was just curious because most of the other, I looked at the other websites for the other towns and they all have their adopted budget on. So that's why I was wondering, because the 17
Okay.
adopted budget is on.
Okay. Desiree, is that something we send down to Miriam?
Yeah, Eileen, as the past budget officer, I guess would send it out to the web designer.
Okay, I will speak to her tomorrow and ask her if it's possible to please send it down to Miriam, who runs our webpage, and it'll be on the webpage.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening, Peggy Felice on Woodbury Junction. I have a question under new business, under item 3B as in boy, the service appraisal contract. I'd like to get a little bit of clarification on what that is and if and how it affects the residents of Woodbury Junction, basically what it is. Please, thank you.
Oh, no. Actually, I think that is, yes, it does affect your development. What we're doing is the the assessor is right now negotiating with I guess, the owner of that property on the assessment. The old owner.
Mr.
The old
Brodsky?
owner on, because he fought the assessments. So we're in the middle of negotiating with him as far as I can really go on that. We're trying to get a settlement, but if we do not get a settlement, then we would be going to court, and the assessor has asked us to approve this gentleman who does appraisals for the town. He would be representing us, to go ahead and move forward, rather than to have to wait, and then Mr. Brodsky decides, he wants to go to court, and now we've got to rush it. We feel that we want to be ahead of the ball, to be proactive, and to start moving on. Now, we may not use him. If Brodsky comes up with a settlement, we won't need him, but we want to be prepared.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
John Smith, Highland Mills. I'm sorry I came in late. I didn't get to hear everything that was discussed or whatever, but I have a question about, number one, public input, and your comments just at the end of that announcement or whatever, or instructions or whatever. Does that mean there will be no more public comment? Person can't get up and
At the end of the meeting?
Yeah.
Correct.
okay. Can you tell me why you eliminated that, or does it go with what you said before about number one?
It's basically a go about number one. I personally feel that it's important, when I walk this town, and I think Jackie can attest to it, Councilwoman Hernandez, that a lot of people, we ask the questions as to why you don't participate, why, because they say, I'd like to come, but. What's the but? They say, because most of the time, you vote on everything, and then you allow people to get up. And they feel that they would prefer to have a say, such as that woman here tonight asked about what a certain thing is. They want to know beforehand, and they want to have a say in what we're doing. And that's the way you allow people to have a say. To get up at the end and to
Sound off?
sound off on something we already voted on, I would think that you would prefer to sound off on something before we voted on it. I'm not asking everyone to get up here and be nice. You don't have to be. I understand that. I can take it, and I think our board can. If you don't agree with something, we'd like to hear about it. You know, if it's something that needs to be voted on this evening that needs to be done, well, we need to do what we have to do. But if something comes up and you say to us, you know, why don't you give that 2 weeks? Why don't you guys think about it? I have some ideas, or maybe the bop and bop the beep. Hey, we'll listen. And that's, I think you would prefer more than to have us vote on something, and then you get up there and
Say,
It's
why
done.
did you vote on it? Right.
it's done.
I mean,
And that's my opinion, John. And I think most opinions at the end of the meeting are really for the accolades or the unhappy person, who I say now, if you've got something to say, put it in a letter.
Well-
It's not a big problem.
if you had to get up here and say just nice things and so forth, I would probably never come up here.
That's why we like you, Commissioner.
As you know, I'm an outspoken critic of the library board. And I would get up at the end of the meeting and tell you about they screwed the taxpayer, adult taxpayer, because they think they're going to be some big-time child librarian and so forth like that. So how do I do that now? I have to write a letter to you, or?
I think if I'm not mistaken, you have written me a letter and you wanted to come see me, and I've been waiting. My door's open.
I'm just getting started.
It's not a problem. John,
Okay.
I've spoken to you on this subject many a
Yes.
times. I've spoken to Ms. Dot Morris about it many a times. And I've explained to them that when you show up to a meeting, I expect them to have the same rules and regulations like we do. You get up and you allow people to speak at the meeting. I would hope that you would hold it to maybe what they're going to speaking about, but, you know,
Oh, but
I know you, John. You've
Yeah,
already gotten off the subject, but that's okay.
the issue will be continued, believe me. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, John. Anybody else? Okay. That'll end the public discussions. Let's do the administrative business. I need a motion and a second to approve the minutes of January 9, 2018. I'll make the motion. Do I got a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Desiree, can you please read? I think we have 3 budget modifications tonight.
The first is a modification to the 2017 budget of the police department by decreasing B 3120.402 telephone by $1,085, increasing B 2680 insurance recoveries by $24,575, and increasing B 3120.200 equipment, cars, motorcycles by $24,575, and B 3120.444 schools and dues by $1,085.
I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next is also a modification to the 2017 budget of the police department by decreasing B 3120.421 labor attorney by $2,524 and increasing B 3120.440 tasers by $2,524.
I need a motion and a second.
Make that motion?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
And the last is a modification to the 2018 budget of the animal control by increasing A 599 appropriated fund balance by $5,000 and increasing A 3510.200 equipment by $5,000.
Okay, I'll make that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We have, this week, we will do the abstract. Desiree, please.
This is abstract number 2. It contains vouchers 2018-0033 through 2018-0143 and totals $359,783.24.
Have a motion?
Motion?
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion and a second to approve the family medical leave for one town employee. I don't have his name up here. Do we have to announce it or no?
It's from Michael McLaughlin for a period of January 20th, 2018 through April 16th, 2018.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, new business. We need to appointment of delegates to the Association of Towns for more than the number of years that I think our town clerk would like to say it for, but she's normally been our delegate and our the delegate,
The alternate.
the alternate delegate is our tax collector, Ms. Carol Herb. So I put that motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And now I need a motion and a second to authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement with RP Hubble and Company Incorporated, real estate appraisers and market analysis for a total it was 22,500, she said the other day, right? Yeah, for $22,500. And as I said, we may not need to use this, but if we do, we want to be ahead of the curve. So I need a motion and a second to authorize me to sign that agreement.
Motion.
I'll second.
Okay, do you have any questions on it? No? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And now I need a motion and a second to appoint Mr. Joey Gianzero to Program Coordinator, not to exceed 1,508 hours at $30.60 per hour. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have no old business. I did receive the supervisor's report. Desiree, can you please read that for me?
I would love to, but I did not receive the supervisor's report,
You didn't get the supervisor's
I
report.
did not.
Okay.
so I can't read it
So
to
she
you.
didn't
'cause
give it to you, huh?
We have not received it officially in my office.
Okay.
Would you like me to come get it?
Let's meet halfway.
Okay.
I didn't realize she didn't give you a copy.
I didn't realize it was done.
What can I tell you?
Did you want to sign it? Because it's not signed.
I'll sign it after we do.
Oh. Right. The supervisor's report for the month of December 2017 has receipts totaling $180,092.20 and disbursements totaling $1,053,033.20.
Do I have a motion to accept the supervisor's report?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We did receive the town clerk's report, December 2018. I did receive late,
That would be December 2017.
oh, yeah.
I'm not that good. I mean, I'm good, but
Well, you know how Desiree likes to be.
efficient, but yeah.
Yeah, she's efficient. She's always ahead of the ball, so, you know.
Why wait till the end?
I know. right?
Exactly, why wait? I did receive the buildings and grounds, which I'll give you a copy of.
Yes, I did not receive that either.
Okay, no problem.
And is that for December as well?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I have down here the ADCO, because I always heard that she was now the Animal Dog and Control
It's
Officer.
just animal
But it's the
control.
ACO, okay.
Yes.
For December 2017, I've received the Police Communications Report for December 2017. I have not received a Beautification Committee report as of yet. The library minutes are of January 2018. Parks and Recreation, you gave me the minutes, right, Joe? Yeah, I did receive the minutes.
I
and-
did not receive the minutes.
Okay,
So which ones are they?
okay. It is the,
Did the board to get them? Because I didn't get them for the packets, so.
okay, no problem. I've got the Buildings and Grounds. I know Joey gave me the minutes, and I thought I gave them to you. All right, I'll get them to you. But I did get, you gave me the minutes, right? Yeah, I have. They're in
So
my office somewhere.
Should we
but I got
mention them at the next meeting? Because the date is usually put in the minutes and.
Okay, so we'll give it for the next meeting, not a problem. And as I stated earlier, the budget versus actual will not be out until next month. I do have one more agenda item that I just realized as I was going through, and that is the Gatsby report. We have, I need a motion and a second to authorize the supervisor to sign this agreement. It's for $1,530, and that's for the electronic annual update service. It's limited on-site update service proposal and the fee availability upon request, you know. I don't think we want the code tags. And,
No, we never
right,
do that.
and we've never done that,
No.
and we've never done the data entry. So I'm asking for a motion and a second to approve.
Well, we do, my office does the data entry, so you don't have to pay them to do it. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so it would be $1,530. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? You have any questions on that? Because I know we didn't talk about this the other day.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with it, so.
This is a report that this company gives to us on all of our assets, meaning our machinery, the police automobiles, and all of that, so that we can gather for, the worth of the town and also for the insurance purposes. Is that correct, Tim?
No, not
No.
entirely, I'm sorry. I don't mean
Okay.
to.
It's okay, no.
It's a report that does the depreciation and appreciation of all your
Right.
fixed assets, $5,000 or more. It's updated annually this time of year, and Eileen needs it to submit to the comptroller when she does your annual update document.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that's that.
Okay.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And board member comments. Chief? Joe?
No comments.
Desiree?
Yeah, I do have a couple of things. I just want to remind everybody that on February 4th, Super Bowl Sunday, there is a pancake breakfast under the John Burke Scholarship, but it's also being co-sponsored by the Woodbury Community Association, the Woodbury Lions Club, the Knights of Columbus, and the Woodbury Chamber of Commerce. It's from 9 a.m. to noon at Village Hall. It's $10 per person, and all funds raised, which would be 100% of the profits because everything is being donated by ShopRite of Monroe, all the food and supplies. All funds raised will be going towards the gentleman who you approved for the family medical leave this evening, Michael McLaughlin, a town employee who is very sick and can use the money to help with his family and help support his 2 young kids. So again, that's February 4th from 9 a.m. to noon at Village Hall, $10 per person. There will be to-go containers if anybody can't stay, they want to take some pancakes, scrambled eggs, and sausage home. And if you can't make it, we are accepting donations. The check just gets made payable to the Woodbury Chamber of Commerce. You can put a little note on the field, on the for field on your check that says for this scholarship, and you can either drop it off at Town Hall or give me a call and I can tell you how to get it to me. And also on February 10th, the Woodbury Community Association is having their annual Heart Dance from 7 p.m. to midnight. It's $175 per couple, and information for that is available on 22 as well as the Chamber's website.
Councilman Hunter?
This town has a long tradition of public input on the town board meeting, and it doesn't matter what other boards do, I don't care. It goes back decades, and it's a good thing to have people come up here and vent their frustrations and whatever. We need to hear it. We need to consider what they say at the end of a meeting when all is said and done. So I want to encourage the board to seriously think about bringing that back. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just figured you would just pick up when he was done. Councilman Arone? No comments? Okay, I will, I'd like to thank our town court, the court women that are up there. They do a wonderful job, mostly for the department heads who went out and got us, the town, and 11,000, above 11, I don't have the exact amount right here, but I think it was 11,600, yeah. Dollar grant for the upstairs for heating and cooling systems and for other items that they need up there. And I thank them because for every dollar that they get and a grant for us, is a dollar we don't have to spend. So I do appreciate everything that they do up there for us. Other than that, it's been a very eventful couple of weeks. I'm enjoying the job. I'm enjoying it immensely, and I will do everything that I can to help this town and to improve. And one last thing is, my office now handles garbage, so I guess the saying would be, when you think of garbage, think of the supervisor's office. But you know, the reality of it is now if you have a problem or a question concerning the refuse, you call the town hall and push number 3 right now, because we don't have anybody sitting at that desk that will be dedicated for refuse. And the ladies in the back in my office will be handling it, as well as myself. And so far, we've actually recovered quite a few things for people. We've been getting garbage pails back out to people who had their garbage pails either run over or taken by accident. And I think most of the people in town have been very cooperative and understanding, and we appreciate that as well, because it's new to us. And lastly, we spoke at the town board about, and I'm sure you've all seen it on Pam's webpage, we are going to give her a new shed, an additional shed, so that she can now start handling the colonies of the feral cats that we have in this town. And it is very important that, health-wise, to make sure that this is taken care of. And this new building will provide her a space to keep those cats, and it will be dedicated to the cats only. And aside from that, I would like to say thank you to all those people who have been out there and supporting me, and I look forward to meeting you. Deputy Supervisor?
I just want to say thank you for attending the meeting tonight. It's been a wonderful week of meeting many of the department heads and working with the department heads in areas that they feel will help benefit the town of Woodbury. So I thank everybody for their support. I really do look forward to continuing to work and support the efforts of our town employees to meet the needs of the Woodbury residents. I also wanted to make an announcement for, I wanted to thank the Photo News for covering the piece on the Upper Room, which is a teen program that I've helped to create. It's a pilot program that's free of charge for teenagers to participate in activities. We meet twice a month. Our next meeting is going to be next Friday, the 26th. If there are parents that have teenagers that would like to participate, they're more than welcome to email me at theupperroom1635@gmail.com, or they can reach me at 845-534-8888. I want to congratulate Joey on his new appointment. I have talked to Joey, and I'm very excited about a number of different programs that we're hoping to bring to Woodbury for the adults, for the teenagers, as well as for the after-schoolers. So we're looking for that support from to actually meet the needs of the community. And with that, I also wanted to acknowledge the assessors department. I know many times they're probably not the one department that we want to think about, especially when you think about taxes, but they've worked very hard to keep the value of the properties as honest as possible, and they did a great job. I think a lot of residents receive rebate checks for the work that they've done in that office, and I want to acknowledge the work that they do to continue to keep the values of our homes as close to what they are as possible. Thank you.
With that, do I get with that, I'd like a motion. We're not going into an executive session, so for adjournment, I'll make the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming out tonight. Please drive home safely, and please be careful on the roads.